We'll have to.
I'm patriotic.
You are. You're patriotic. So let's pray. Lord, thank you for this day and thank you for the opportunities we have to take care of the children in our community as our organization takes care of children in the world. Help us now as we have our meeting. In your name, amen. I'm obviously in my office. Let's pledge to Paul Schultz. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic
for which it stands,
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Ann Morrow is here.
Hi, May. Hi, Ann.
She did. She stood at attention and pledged the flag with us.
Oh, good.
I just came to pick up 2 receipts that I was missing. See you later.
Thank you, Ann.
Paula, thanks for having somebody call so that my kids weren't the only disturbance, so I didn't feel
It was my pleasure. Look at you in your little office.
Me?
Yeah.
Paula's back.
I thought I was going to be in a yard, but this is the dining room table with the backyard.
Looks good to me.
As I told Pete, I was just Pete and Tim. I was just trying to find a way where it wasn't just boxes behind me.
Now look at behind me. I just am in an office that's a historical society. Is a neat office.
All right, so we got a pledge and a flag in.
We did.
Yep.
And I got disconnected, but I'm connected again, so it's good to be back. And we've got on our agenda today to elect a new slate of officers, and we have a slate to present. And maybe I don't know, Bill. Will, can you present the slate of officers for next year? Are you where you can do that?
I am. So the thing, who we were listing as potential officers would be me as president, Tim as president-elect, and Peggy as vice president. And then Pete staying in his role as secretary-treasurer.
Super. And we now, that's the slate of officers being presented. Do we have any other nominations from the floor? And hearing none, I say we close nominations and we hold a vote for our slate as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Hi.
All those opposed say nay. Hearing none, I say we have a unanimous vote and we now have a slate of officers to present to our higher ups and to run our club next year. So that's the first thing on the agenda. Do we have any other agenda from Pete or Paula or?
Excuse me, before we get into that, can I make an acceptance speech?
Sure, Tim, would you please?
Thank you.
And welcome, by the way. Congratulations.
Several years ago, after I retired, we decided to go visit my daughter, who lives with her husband and 3 children in Wimbledon, England. And I left behind my home Kiwanis club in northern Indiana. We had about 15 members, and we would get 10 to 11 at our monthly or our weekly meetings every Thursday morning. So while I was over in England, I got an email from our secretary treasurer who said, the president has resigned his office. We were down to the point where we would hold office 2 years in a row, so we wouldn't have to have all that turmoil, and we get people who were used to the position and knew what they were doing. So I knew when I got back, we'd have to elect a president. Well, I came back to the first meeting, and guess what? I was the president. My mistake was not attending the meeting. And guess how I got to be president-elect? I did not attend the meeting. So as a history major, it doesn't say much for me about learning from the past. End of speech.
Well, thank you for agreeing to take on this position. I'm looking forward to the new thoughts and ideas that you'll be bringing with you, and I will be there to support any way I can. And I know we've got a strong experience club where we have not only the lieutenant governor, and we have past lieutenant governors, and we know that you were a past lieutenant governor. So you certainly bring with you a lot of good history, and I'm sure we'll support Will a lot. So thank you for telling us that.
Excellent.
Anybody else with some thoughts? Pete?
Hey, you want to go to the? You want to go to?
Is that Pete talking?
For the record, before the meeting, I asked them, I said, hey, I've got this meeting. I'm actually going to be home instead of what I planned. So can you guys try to be quiet around it? You can see it worked tremendously.
That's why they call them children.
So do they want to talk?
They're not even dealing with me right now. They're talking to each other and, getting water and that sort of thing. But I'm sure they'll come say hi in a minute. They usually do.
Okay.
Okay, following our election there, I'll go online, Kiwanis International, to our club, and I can enter and change the data in there and change the offices for next year. So
Good.
that you may get contacts in. And I think, does that automatically flow to the lieutenant governor?
Why
Paula?
don't you send it to Steve just to be on the safe side? It probably does, but that would make, Steve would be happy to know that he's
I can do that too. Steve who?
Arrington.
Arrington, okay. All
He's
right.
taking your place, right, Peg? Right, Paula?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, I made a note. All right. Will, you mentioned we were, your email.
Say that again?
You mentioned you had another item to talk
Oh,
about.
yeah. And on that real quick, so October 1 is when that transfers, correct?
Yes.
All right. Another item is, are you here to say hi? I know it would happen.
Hi.
You left. You missed him waving hi to you.
Hi.
There you go.
You're loving on your daddy?
It's always much better when I'm on calls than just normal. Although, right? I love you too. Okay. Okay, that sounds like a great plan.
In a hotel.
Okay, enjoy the hotel. I'll have to for the hotel listen.
It's a good thing to play, hotel.
Yeah.
They've been trying to watch a lot and gotten to watch a lot of TV and play on tablets lately, which we don't even have many of. So it's nice to see them play again.
Well, now
Yeah.
Okay, go do Nature Scouts. I'll see you in a little bit.
and I'm making a donut.
Okay, go up there and let me talk. Okay. I know we'll see more animals. We've seen some already. Okay. Thank you for your patience. Okay. So I've been looking at trying to get the Mandarin branch of the Jacksonville Public Library, especially their kids department, to kind of potentially, whether it's some of their staff or them, find a way to partner with us, become members, thinking that they would be a good avenue for, they're tied into schools, they deal with children, they have activities that we could potentially help with. And they also have ideas on ways to help kids because they interact with them regularly and are involved in programs and know what programs are out there and things like that. So after consulting with Pete and then calling 1-800-Kiwanis, they let me know that we could add them as an honorary member. An honorary member would be $8 a year so that they get a catalog, at least, especially the first year. Which I think is something that we would handle. That the library basically would be willing to join us, but they're not going to pay any money to do it, which I understand that too. But they are open to partnering with us and becoming members in some way. And so I think that would be a good avenue. Wanted to see what you guys thought on that.
I think
Well, I
it's
think
good. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I just,
Peggy first.
Go ahead.
it's a wonderful idea. I think it's great exposure. And I think the conversations will be beneficial and helpful. And that's what we're looking for. So I think it's a great union.
Yeah, I also think it might be an opportunity for maybe occasionally Key Club members could, maybe we could have a meeting there, including the Key Club members, and discuss and then get some of them on hand, and we can get together and have a, sort of a committee meeting or a club meeting there. And we could pass things and ideas along to them.
Right.
That $8, if it's $8 for an honorary membership, that does not include the Kiwanis magazine. No, that's, we would have to, that'd be an extra charge. Whereas our membership includes the Kiwanis magazine. And if you're not getting it,
It's not like it was included that, but it's still minimal. But it also sounded like the Kiwanis magazine was something that was a 1-year requirement. The first year it's an obligation, then you choose from there if they want to keep it or not.
oh, okay, I don't know.
Well, it'd be good to have the Kiwanis magazine in the library.
Yeah.
Do they
Or
still
we-
have don't they have a rack in their library that has magazines that people can pick one up and look at it when they're there?
Yes, they do.
And one thing on the museum, on the Mandarin Library, they've done a some sort of display of things that are in the museum and books in the museum. I haven't seen it. I understand that's being done. So that would be another interesting thing to include the history of the area.
Pete, Peggy and I both get magazines, so I don't know if it's possible. Maybe we could stop my magazine and just that would cover. I'd cover the cost of that magazine for the library and have it.
I'll check on that, or you can. Or, yeah, I mean, it's automatically included as part of your membership with the international membership. I know that there's a Kiwanis magazine. There's also a fee in there that goes against insurance that we're all paying a piece of for director and officer. It's club insurance in case it's liability insurance. I don't think it's DNO. I
But
think
we
it's
could
just
bring, we could physically bring one of the magazines to the
yeah,
meeting
Yeah.
that we do in
Yeah.
person.
bring
and
one
give
of
it-
ours. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Or take one to the library when you get it. Kind of thing.
Yeah.
They do have a meeting room there. That's a great idea, Pete.
Yeah. You could have a
So-
joint Key Club Kiwanis meeting there.
Yeah, that would be neat.
I think, well, you're presenting a motion that says we approve adding a honorary member for the library, and we cover the cost of the $8 and whatever the magazine cost is from our accounts.
Yeah.
And if that's so moved, do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay. Well, then I'm gonna call for a vote if there's no further discussion. All in favor, say aye.
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 Then we've got that motion passed. Will, do you want to talk about any future programs? We've got a meeting coming up. This,
13th.
yeah, I don't have a calendar in front of me, so I'm
2
not,
weeks from today, it's
2 weeks from today,
July 13th.
and
13th.
that'll be
First,
No, this is the first for July, I think, and the 13th would be the second.
okay.
yeah, and that's a Zoom meeting.
Yeah.
So we won't go back to in-person meeting until August, but we'll do that the first Tuesday of August.
And that's
Right.
August the 3rd.
And then Paul has been, let's see what we're gonna do. Oh, the emails, based on our contribution of $25 apiece, to the the Florida Kiwanis Foundation is sustaining, to get us each in a sustaining membership. We have, now we've got, Carl is gonna come, the foundation rep for this division is gonna come on our next meeting in August. I suggested to him, he wanted to know when he could come. He's got a pin for each one of us, so we need to promote that and try to get as many people, and we can meet physically somewhere, so we can, on that meeting. If you have a suggestion where we should meet, then.
So the club is off on that meeting, the
No,
Deerwood.
No,
you mentioned the Deerwood's open. We could have the Deer Creek Country Club.
yeah,
Yeah, that's open, but Paul, you, in an email back to him, you suggested August 3rd. We wanted to know a date.
Yeah, isn't that our normal meeting in
yes,
August?
yes.
First week in August. Let's
It's
see.
August the 3rd.
Can we
Yeah,
confirm
Tuesday.
that with Deer Creek and meet there?
we can.
Let's do that.
And is Ally gonna also come to that?
I don't know. Have to ask her, invite her.
Would you
I think
do
it-
that, Paula?
I will. Maybe then we would, I guess all of us getting a pin, that wouldn't be appropriate. I mean, if Ally's gonna speak though, we could have an interclub.
Well, it just takes a minute a piece to put a
I
pin,
know, I
call
know,
their name and put a pin on them.
but Fernandina's hot to trot
Well,
to
let's do
find
it.
out when we can have, they want to come to they want to do a couple interclubs in July and August.
Well,
So,
invite them to come in August to our in-person meeting at Deer Creek.
okay,
And
and
we'll have a program of Ally and we'll have the pins and a program of the other. We'll just keep them a
okay,
little shorter so we're not running too long, but we
Okay.
could do that.
So
okay.
conceptually, she's basically presenting about the foundation, and then we get
Yes.
pinned around.
Yeah, so that would kind of fit.
All right, so we got that. Any other comments?
Well, have we heard when that other person is going to come and speak to us?
He hasn't replied other than to say he will get back to me on those dates. So I figured when I get the chance in the next week or two, I'd try to circle back with them and give them an
Okay.
updated schedule. Use that as an excuse.
Okay,
Is that Ron Moody?
yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
I always forget his name.
And then I also was going to look at. I did one of those. They had new member orientation that the state president did. That while I'm not a new member, I never did one, so I figured I would get through it. And they had or I asked and got their contact for the state head of the bug program, and I figured I would, the Bring Up Grades program, and I figured I would try to reach out to that person and look at them in the future as well.
Good.
Super. If we don't have any other business and any further comments, I think we can adjourn.
Can I say one more thing?
Okay, please, Tim.
Never underestimate the power of a reminder. Thank you, Pete.
Thank you, Pete.
Thank you, Pete.
I try.
You do a great job.
Pete, where do you get your shirts?
This shirt on it, if you look at it closely, let's see, it's reversed on my screen, but over here it says Peter Gentry
Advisor Division.
5, Advisory Division 5, and over here it says the Florida Division of Key Club. So it was given to me when I was an advisor to the Key Club for the division back on July 2007.
Oh,
And
okay. I was just wondering about identification, like
We
if
have-
and when we
Yeah, we have in the past, many years ago, I've got a T-shirt. It's white. It's a knit shirt and with a collar on it, and it's got a black band on the collar, but it's otherwise white. And it says on it in blue letters, it says DeercreekKiwanis Club. That was our original name before we changed it to Deer Creek. Since we were meeting at Deer Creek, we had a name change.
I think that's a great image, like
Yeah, especially if we're out in public having a meeting somewhere, people can see us. We all have the same
right,
T-shirt.
right. Yeah, I like that.
I have a Christchurch Academy Key Club T-shirt that I wear when I go to the Y.
Oh, okay.
And then I have 3 or 4 of Pete's shirts that I'm wearing while I'm the lieutenant governor.
Yeah, I bought a bunch of them at a low price. They were not selling, so I'll take that one of those, each one of those. So
Okay.
I refuse to wear he sent the orange jacket, but I said, I'm not gonna wear the orange jacket.
back, 15 years ago or more, the Florida Kiwanis Club, we would wear these orange jackets to the Florida Kiwanis Convention. We'd also wear them to the International Convention in Indianapolis, which I've been to several of those. And when at the International Convention, we're all sitting in a big, there's probably 500 of us in in an auditorium, in a stage, and almost in a Coliseum type thing. And so each district, Florida's a district, and Illinois and Eastern Iowa is one district. So, and then California, Nevada, and Hawaii is another district, so each of those districts, and then there's international districts, because it's an international convention from other places in the world that they're there. But the one thing that was there that was huge was when you looked around the room, the only thing you could notice was up in this one section, there would be a sea of orange jackets, and they knew who it was. We would impress everybody else.
Yeah, yeah. Well, even if, like you say, we're just walking around or we're shopping, it might cause people, to ask questions.
Yeah, and we've done Ring the Bell at Christmas, for the Salvation Army.
Right.
We've sit there and ring the bell, and it's a good time to wear those shirts. And we passed out information cards about our club while we were collecting these gifts, so it had a little side effect. If we were to meet at the library for a meeting there, it'd be nice to all have. So
maybe Peggy and I will look on the internet and get some pricing on
check the
example of a shirts and put that out and see who would order a shirt if we did it as a group.
Yeah, check the Kiwanis.org website.
Okay.
And maybe you can browse through that and you might see something.
We'll do that.
Kiwanis definitely sells stuff, and then a friend of mine has in Tampa or in Bradenton has a shirt business. If we wanted to go a different route as well.
We could go that way too.
Oh, okay. Okay. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah,
So,
that's really easier.
What about in other states? What did y'all do in Indiana?
For the conventions, let me just say that I agree with everything Pete said. I went to the Indianapolis convention. I went to the Orlando convention way back when. And that he really is a sea of bright orange. And when I found out that I was going to join a Florida Kiwanis Club, I got measured for a coat. Now you tell me you don't wear any. What am I going to do?
I don't know.
Paula said she wouldn't wear it.
Just because I wouldn't wear it. Y'all know I'm kind of finicky.
I haven't been to a convention. That's why I'm not wearing it. I don't know if they wear them to the international convention or not.
Well, if you decide you want to go to the convention, I'll see if I can't give you a ride.
And not only the orange jackets, but the Kiwanis pins on the jackets were.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They were really something. I was impressed.
Yeah, we got to look at pins too, because we have not, one thing we haven't done in the last few years is as we get new members, give them a pin.
And
So,
yeah, we've got Peggy and Will
Tim,
and Kim
the owner.
and the owner.
I've got pins coming out my wazoo, and I have a collection of pins that I had given to my club as a program, just pass them around and show them.
Oh, that's a good program.
We're gonna have Tim for a program. Maybe he could do that when we get that meeting
That
scheduled.
sounds good.
Well, you'll find out that the pins are a lot more interesting than I am.
Kim, we think you're
No.
quite interesting.
For ramifications.
So Pete, would you look into what it would cost the club to order new member pins?
Yeah,
And we'll look into the shirts.
and then we just need to find out who do we need to give the pins to, how many we need.
And will they fit in the budget? I think they will, probably
And,
will.
Also, we need a membership committee. Somebody that can focus on that.
Maybe we should
because-
ask Peggy to volunteer.
Sure.
Well,
All right, she just volunteered. We've got a membership committee.
okay, because Mike Myhan, somehow I ran into him and he showed some interest, and then I haven't heard any more from him, so we need to follow up with him.
Oh, yeah. Double,
He's a former
double check.
member of this club. So,
Send Peggy his name and number and we'll have her call him.
okay,
Pete,
yes,
I found out that Mark Laborde in our church,
yeah,
he was the lieutenant governor Key Club when he was at Episcopal.
oh,
He's
okay,
in my small group. I think we need to get him to get involved in our Kiwanis Club.
yeah, because we're up to 12. We, I forgot what it
Paula-
said.
I'm gonna contact him. I haven't, but I will.
Get him to join and we'll give you the new member recruitment thing. I mean, right now I'm leading with one for recruiting Peggy.
Oh, well.
So,
Poor Peggy. Peggy, did you have a choice?
Yeah, I did.
Sorta. Well, I'm gonna be involved in this, and since you're my wife, would you like to be involved in it too?
that was part of the-
Just teasing.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's a great program project. I think I would love to see us grow.
Yeah, I would too.
And we all would.
Good.
So,
I thought I read somewhere that our club was 36th in the state of Florida for membership growth. That was based on a percentage because we went from 9 to 12, which is a 33% increase in membership.
So we could bust that wide open, guys.
If we get 3 more, we could blow it out.
Yeah.
1 or 2
Well,
more.
that'd be cool. Let's do that, and let's make sure we do it while it's still my term. So I
Yes.
can say,
Absolutely.
when
And
I was the lieutenant
Before-
governor,
well, it's my
my
turn.
club.
we'll leave Will a good challenge of growth.
I'm good.
do
How are
do
you?
honoraries count in that? One thing somewhat related to that is one of the reasons I did that orientation, because I, was a couple years in, was to kind of see what they were doing to onboard people. And they also said they were recording, they did 2 of them. They said they were going to record the second one and send it out. And I haven't seen it yet. I'll try to follow up on that. It may not be bad to have even just an access to a video that says, all right, here's what we
I agree.
offer.
we could send it to our members like Peggy and Tim might even enjoy looking at what Florida's doing. Anyway, any other comments that we need?
Did anybody sign up for or attend that leadership conference that was the end of last week? I signed up for it, but I kind of had pressing matters that I'm going to try to go back and see what was on the agenda. But
If you find out that they recorded it, Will, maybe you could send it to me and both of us would sit through it.
okay.
And maybe even all the officers we could send to.
Yeah, I know it was hey guys, hey, do you see that we're talking? Can we stop fighting, please? All right. I know it was a range of things, and I think I've asked Haley, stop. Sit next to me for a minute. I know it was a range of topics and it was a 3-day deal, and I think I have access to it for like 30 days. So I hope is to go back through it once I get
Okay.
over.
Yeah, I was out of town, so it was with my daughters, so.
Thank you for accepting my inability to control fighting and screams and all that stuff today.
What are you gonna do as
Great
president?
to have you with them. Reminds us of things in past. Well, again, I'm going to present that we adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Bye.
All opposed? Well, guys, we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Great.
Okay,
Thanks, guys.
okey doke.
All right. Bye.
See ya.
Shopping.